it's Miss Catie here for story time. Since yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, I thought I'd wear a St. Patrick's Day shirt and read you a story about a leprechaun. Called Leprechauns Never Lie. There was this old thatched hut nestled in a glen near the river. Nanny and Gram lived there together. Each had only the other and no more. They lived simply on potato soup, and their needs were few. The thatch needed patching, the potatoes needed digging, the firewood needed gathering, and the water barrel needed filling. But Nanny was lazy, and Gram was ailing, and there was naught but blathering between them. Gram nagged, Nanny dawdled, and that was that. The rain came drip-drop through the thatch, the potato sack emptied, the chimney pot grew cold, and there was but a bit of rainwater in the barrel. It came to be there was little to eat, just cold rainwater soup, plain and simple. "Oh, woe is me! 'Tis starving we are," moaned Gram. "What am I to do with such a lazy child?" "Oh, Gram, hush your nagging. I've been thinking to catch a leprechaun. He's bound to tell where he's hidden his gold, and 'tis rich for life will be," said Nanny. "Is it raving you are, girl? To capture a leprechaun is no easy thing." "Aye, so I've heard tell," agreed Nanny. "But we could make right use of the treasure, so I'll give it a try." Well, it was as easy as tripping over a log, which is what happened. Nanny was tramping about looking everywhere for a leprechaun, when she tumbled head over petticoat and fell plunk right on top of one of the wee fairymen. He howled like a banshee and wiggled and waggled, but Nanny had him firmly by the seat of his breeches, and that was that. "Let me go!" shrieked the angry leprechaun. "Sure, and gladly I'll let you loose. But I'll know first where your treasure is hidden," said Nanny. "Ah, 'tis under the straw pile. But you've not the wit to find it," grumbled the wee man. "We'll see about that," said Nanny, as she carried him squirming and kicking to show Gram her prize, and wasn't she pleased? They tied him firmly into a potato sack, and Gram watched that he didn't waggle away. While Nanny started pitching straw, this way and that. "Sure, and 'tis witless and lazy she is," hissed the leprechaun to Gram. "She'll find no treasure in the mess she's making." "I heard that, and you'll not fool me, leprechaun," said Nanny. She lifted the straw gently and searched through it bit by bit, and carried it up to the roof, out of the way. Sure, and the whole of the straw pile was upon the roof, and not a mite of gold to be found, and that was that. "'Tis a liar you are, leprechaun," said Nanny. "Ah, a liar I'm not. Hidden under the straw it was, but I just now recalled that the mice were nosing about, and I moved it under the big oak tree, and covered it with branches," said the leprechaun. "Stack the branches here by the door, Nanny," said Gram. "I'll sort through them for any stray coins." Nanny carried and stacked the branches. Gram examined every stick. The leprechaun scowled. Nanny raked up the last few twigs and found no speck of treasure under the tree. And that was that. "He's lying again, Gram," howled Nanny. "Ah, a liar I'm not. Hidden under the tree it was. But I remember now that I moved it to a safer place," said the leprechaun. "Speak up and tell me where you've hidden the gold," demanded Nanny, shaking him till his wee head wobbled. "The river," squawked the leprechaun. "I put it under the river." "Sure, and I'm not believing that. How did you get it under the river? And how am I to get it out?" asked Nanny. "I've told you where, but I'll not tell you how. said the leprechaun. Nanny got the bucket and started to bail out the river. She was tossing water onto the riverbank at a furious rate. "'Tis witless you are, girl," laughed the leprechaun. "Can't you see all that water sliding back to where it came from?" And he was right, of course, so Nanny emptied her bucket into the water barrel till the barrel was full to overflowing. But the river was as deep as before, and that was that. "Sure, and 'tis a liar you are, leprechaun," wailed Nanny, "and 'tis throwing you in the river I am." "Don't be hasty, girl," begged the leprechaun. "A liar I'm not, just forgetful at times. I remember clearly now I buried my treasure in your very own potato patch." "I'm not believing you, leprechaun. 'Tis another lie you're telling me," said Nanny. "Then 'tis foolish you are, girl," said the wee man, "for leprechauns never lie." "I've heard tell they're bound by fairy law to tell the truth," said Graham. "I'll believe it when I see it," grumbled Nanny, as she went to fetch the spade. Nanny dug and grubbed about in the potato patch. Graham smiled to see all the potatoes scattered about. The leprechaun scowled. Nanny dug the potato patch wide and deep, uprooting all but one of the potato plants. Sure, and all she had to show for her efforts was a hole in the garden and a heap of potatoes. And that was that. She threw down the spade in disgust. "I've had enough of digging." "And I've had enough of lying leprechauns," said Nanny. "Let him loose, Graham, for we'll be needing that sack for potatoes." So Graham untied the sack, and whisked like a shooting star in the night, the wee man vanished. Nanny and Graham supped on good, hot, hearty potato soup, then fell soundly asleep in their warm, dry hut. While out in the potato patch, the wee leprechaun was busily digging up the last potato plant. He carefully lifted out his pot of gold, muttering, "Leprechauns never lie," as he trotted off to find a safer hiding place. And that was that. The end. I hope you guys liked that story, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!